Hello everyone. Today I want to run together with you over the service manual. It's original Nakamichi. It has been shipped to me by my customer together with the deck. So let's take a look and let's see if it's different from what we see online. So, okay, it starts from the table of contents, parts list. Okay, the general view of the controls and connectors on the front and on the back. Disassembly procedure, how to remove covers. Alright, step by step how to remove boards, tape transport. More detailed view here on the right. And all parts, all modules are listed together, how to remove those. Appear to be not a big deal. Step-by-step instructions and detailed view of the tape transport and all the parts in this tape transport. And the final is the head mount assembly right here. So you may see all parts for pinch roller arms, heads, and head plate. How to name it here? F02 head mount base assembly. So this part. Alright. So that's the list of measurement instruments which are required to work with this deck. And here you may see all tape numbers which are needed for testing and tuning. All right. That's mechanical adjustment part that goes over mechanism and position ports to make sure that tape transport will correspond to the modes which are programmed by microprocessor. Adjustment procedures, timing, this one tape speed adjustment, it shows where to go to. Interesting that here the port stays on the side and you see it shows screwdriver needs to be put from the side, but in reality port sits from the top here. That's probably design change which happens over the years. Procedure of head record and playback head tilt adjustment with the specific gauge, as you know from Nakamichi. It simplifies the work because it allows to do it quicker. Technically we can do same adjustment without utilizing this gauge. Here instruction for the excuse me, for the gears. And here's a gauge for the thrust, how far heads should be raised to produce a proper amount of contact with the tape. This one, rise head and tape guides adjustments. Then here is back tension adjustment. So as you've seen in my video, previous video, how I fix the deck, we get finally, after everything worked out, 8 grams of back tension. And here we may see what it should come to. Between 7 and 9 grams per centimeter range. So we've been at 8, so that's the perfect results. All right, and I didn't change the spring, so I didn't move it as here, so it stayed on the original position. The only thing, I cleaned this pad, contact pad, because it was a little bit too greasy for me, so I cleaned it with isopropyl. And as you've seen, I also cleaned the reel shaft to get back to normal torque. Here is the tape pass, pretty interesting image. So that's where you may see how exactly tape should be going over the heads. And as I've been telling multiple times, so you see tape here goes through the heads. From that's a rise head, tape should go in the middle. Technically it happens on every 3-head deck. That's where this guide adjustment, even if you don't have the gouge, then you may rely on the rise head position and adjust height, so make sure it will be in the middle of the rise head. Then record head should go on the very edge of the work surface area, these two traces here, and playback same here on the very edge of this working area. If you don't have test tapes, that would be the best point of view, like how you need to adjust your head positions. You can even see the azimuth, so because like it's very precise if you will use magnifying glass. So you may adjust your heads on any deck just by looking into the half through like tape leader. You can see through it, so when it's not opaque, so then you may see the head position and adjust, and even azimuth will be super close to what you need. All right, and that's like take up side guide. It's mostly just like to catch the tape when it starts. Technically it doesn't do any work. Tape position through all paths is adjusted by this guide and the first position here. Then it just goes through. The only thing you need to check so there would not be any curling of the tape on this guide position. Alright, that's about azimuth and azimuth wire. I believe the same is related to the level adjustments. So this part location and electrical adjustments. Alright, this is pretty rare manual because I haven't seen it on any service. Right, so you may take a look yourself. 681, like usually there is 682 and 680, so there is no 681, and the difference is that 681 is pretty similar to 682, but it has Dolby board has just one set of Dolby chips when it can support Dolby C, so it either supports playback or supports record. That's where we don't have possibility to hear what we're recording because there is no second pair of chips to decode the signals. Here is the electrical adjustments part which goes with it. Okay, that's pretty standard adjustments. That's this part here. Again, everything quite standard as for all other Nakamichi decks. Next one, record head height adjustment and azimuth alignment. How to do it. Alright. Record level and bias current adjustments. That's easy. Let me see more about this part because as this is like record and play mode, I want to see what they recommend to use. Maybe there are some shortcuts. Test tone, that's okay. VTVM to playback EQ output. Okay, that's what I used when I was tuning it the first time, right? So we just been connecting oscilloscope. They connect VTVM. It's millivoltmeter to playback amplifier to check levels, but I was using it to check azimuth as well. And they tuning by 15 kilohertz levels. Yeah, that's how they tune azimuth. They find the maximum. Let me see. Height adjustment on 400 hertz, record and align. And azimuth alignment, yes, set test tone to 15 kHz, record signals, the playback, adjust azimuth to obtain maximum readings on both channels on the VTVM. Now, repeat couple times. So, technically, using oscilloscope, it's much easier. We can connect to the two inputs of the oscilloscope to two channels of the playback amp and adjust it right away. So they didn't do anything which can make this life easier. Okay, let's see here. Record level, calibration, record bias adjustment. So they recommend to use some specific procedure. All right. You may read and follow. I hope everything is fit on your screen. Next part, frequency response adjustment. Okay. Have level, bias, frequency response adjustment. That's the output amplifier. Yeah, that procedure for the output amplifier. And we will be adjusting coils 105 and 205 here. This one right here. All right, measurements. Here is the diagram for playback equalization curve for Nakamichi. Again, here we go. Amplifier tuning for the tape. Here it's capacitors. Record current frequency response adjustment. Record peaking adjusted by compensating overall frequency response when playback frequency response is completed. Normally, peaking frequency is pre-adjusted to approximately 23 kHz in record mode, according to this figure. So it should be peaking at 23 kHz. For the text tape, feed 400 Hz, record playback, adjust levels, feed in 10 kHz and 400 Hz at minus 20 dB, record playback, check the difference between 10 and 400, and mount additional capacitor in parallel with C120 or C220 on the switch assembly with deep side principal mode upon the difference of the levels against 400 Hz. And here is if we have roll off on the 10 kHz, so for 1 dB, we need to add 330 picofarad, and in parallel to C120, which is already 1000 picofarad. Let me see diagram. Where is C120, 115, 118, 119, 107, 121. Okay, I don't see it on the playback amp, but it should be 120. We are adjusting for record current. Interesting. Procedure is a little bit different from I seen before. Then for SX tape, verify everything, and for EX tape, verify and check that response is flat. So the main idea is that the record frequency response should be flat. All right, Dolby check instruction. Here we have mounting diagrams and parts list. That would be simple part. Yeah, the boards. And the most interesting part would be schematic, I believe. That's your list of parts. List of parts. List of parts. You see how many parts in just single cassette decks? Way too many. I believe there is different versions, because you see this 1, 2, 3, three boards are very similar. The only difference is, I believe, the serial number. Yeah, there were some differences. Level PCB assembly. Here we go, mechanism assembly and parts list. That's easy parts. Again, here is the tape transport and all parts. Here is the body, chassis. Mechanism. Yeah, it's pretty the same. You know, it's pretty well. Here is a front view for the mechanism. Indicator assembly, headphone jacks, after level motor assembly, bias calibration. Okay, that's everything. It's pretty in line, pretty easy. Okay, motors, pulley, and small parts on assembly. For supply side, the cap side, pinch rollers, cassette case holder. Yeah, it's everything quite known. Let's go to the schematics. Timing charts. I believe it will be pretty similar to 682. That's the deck block diagram. Mechanism control block diagram. Here is the wiring diagram for this deck. And finally, most interesting parts starts with the schematics. Okay, that would be big. Let me see how much I can fit in here. So this one switchboard, this one playback amplifier right here. Fine, pretty standard. That's the Dolby board here. These three connectors, it's just installs to the board. Let's see the motherboard, where all switching is happening. Here is this big switch. It's right here. All right. Yeah, these Dolby connectors. You see these three Dolby connectors, and the switching is happening to allow Dolby work in playback or record modes. All right. Dolby standard Nakamichi board. Mechanism control section. That's, I believe, pretty similar to 682. So if you will find schematic for 682, this would be like exactly the same. Maybe just like naming of the parts, like numbering, maybe a little bit different. Alright, what's on the back here? I believe it's logic PCB part. And after level PCB, it's right here. It's the same as on 682. Not a big difference. Okay. And finally, specifications. Sorry. They come as 36 watt power consumption, standard speed, wow and flutter should be 0.04 RMS. That I have never seen. I have seen 0.08, but it should be peak. Alright, that's probably belt or overall usage and wear of the deck. Frequency response. 20 gears, 22 kilogears, plus minus 3 decibel at minus 20 decibel ZX tape, and 20 gears, 20 kilogears for type 2 and type 1 tapes. Alright, everything else is standard. THD less than 0.8% for metal tape and less than 1% for the other tapes. Should rise better than 60 decibel. Crosstalk 60 decibel. Bias frequency 100 to 5. Alright. Weight 9 kilogram or 19 pounds 13 ounces. Alright, that would be it. Thanks for being with me. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you and bye bye.